Finland is a Nordic country in Northern Europe. It borders Sweden to the northwest, Norway to the north, Russia to the east with Gulf of Bothnia to the west, Gulf of Finland to the south, opposite Estonia. Finland covers a total area of 338,145 square kilometers, including land area of 303,815 square kilometers, and has a population of 5.6 million. Helsinki is the capital and largest city. Vast majority of the population are ethnic Finns. Official languages are Finnish and Swedish. 84.9% of the population speak Finnish as their mother tongue and 5.1% Swedish. Finland's climate varies from humid continental in the south to boreal in the north. Land cover is predominantly boreal forest biome with more than 180,000 recorded lakes. Finland was first settled around 900 BC after last ice age. During Stone Age, various cultures emerged, distinguished by different styles of ceramics. Bronze Age and Iron Ages marked by contacts with other cultures in Fennoscandia and Baltic region. From late 13th century, Finland became part of Sweden as a result of the Northern Crusades. In 1809, due to Finnish War, Finland was captured from Sweden and became autonomous Grand Duchy within Russian Empire. During this period, Finnish art flourished and the independence movement began to take hold. Finland became the first territory in Europe to grant universal suffrage in 1906 and the first in the world to give all adult citizens the right to run for public office. Following Russian Revolution of 1917, Finland declared independence. Civil war was fought in Finland the following year with the Whites emerging victorious. Finland's status as a republic was confirmed in 1919. During World War II, Finland fought against Soviet Union in Winter War and Continuation War and later against Nazi Germany in Lapland War. As a result, it lost parts of its territory to Soviet Union but retained independence and democracy. Finland remained a largely agricultural country until 1950s. After World War II, it industrialized quickly and established an advanced economy, with welfare state built on the Nordic model. This allowed the country to experience overall prosperity and high per capita income. During Cold War, Finland officially embraced a policy of neutrality. Since then, it becomes member of European Union in 1995, Eurozone in 1999, and following Russian invasion of Ukraine, joined NATO in 2023. Finland is a member of various international organizations such as Nordic Council, Schengen Area, and Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. The nation performs extremely well in national performance metrics including education, economic competitiveness, civil liberties, quality of life and human development. Lying between latitudes 60 degrees and 70 degrees north, longitudes 20 degrees and 32 degrees east, Finland is one of the world's northernmost countries. Of world capitals, only Reykjavik lies more to the north than Helsinki. The distance from southernmost point, Hanko in Uusimaa, to the northernmost Nuorgam in Lapland is 1,160 kilometers. Finland has 168,000 lakes of area larger than 500 meters square and 179,000 islands. Largest lake, Saimaa, is fourth largest in Europe. Finnish lakeland is the area with the most lakes in the country. Many major cities in this area, most notably Tampere, Jyväskylä and Kuopio, are located near the large lakes. Finnish coastline is speckled with the world's largest archipelago, encompassing more than 50,000 islands, greatest concentration of which is found in the southwest in Archipelago Sea between continental Finland and the main island of Åland. Much Finland's geography is the result of Ice Age. Glacier were thicker and lasted longer in Fennoscandia compared with the rest of Europe. Eroding effects contributed mostly flat landscape in Finland, characterized by hills. However, in the northern regions including areas bordering Scandinavian mountains, the terrain features mountainous elevations. At 1,324 meters, Halti is the highest point in Finland, in north of Lapland at the border between Finland and Norway. Highest mountain whose peak is entirely in Finland is Ridnitoka at 1,316 meters, directly adjacent to Halti. Retreating glacier left the land with morainic deposits in formations of eskers. These are ridges of stratified gravel and sand running northwest to southeast where the ancient edge of glacier once lay. Among the biggest of these are the three Salporselkä ridges that run across southern Finland. Having been compressed under the enormous weight of glacier, terrain in Finland is rising due to post-glacial rebound. The effect is strongest around Gulf of Bothnia, where land steadily rises about 1 centimeter a year. As a result, the old sea bottom turns little by little into dry land. The surface area of the country is expanding 7 square kilometers annually. Relatively speaking, Finland is rising from the sea. The landscape is covered mostly by coniferous taiga forests and fens with little cultivated land. Of the total area, 10% is lakes, rivers, ponds, and 78% forest. Forest consists of pine, spruce, birch, and other species. Finland is the largest producer of wood in Europe and among the largest in the world. Most common type of rock is granite. It is a ubiquitous part of the scenery, visible wherever there is no soil cover. Moraine or till is the most common type of soil, covered by a thin layer of humus of biological origin. Podzol profile development is seen in most forest soils except where drainage is poor. Glacials and peat bogs occupy poorly drained areas. Phytogeographically, Finland is shared between Arctic, Central European and Northern European provinces of Circumboreal region within Boreal Kingdom. According to WWF, the territory of Finland can be subdivided into 3 ecoregions: Scandinavian and Russian taiga, Sarmatic mixed forests, Scandinavian montane birch forest and grasslands. Taiga covers most of Finland from northern regions of southern provinces to the north of Lapland. On the southwestern coast, south of Helsinki-Rauma line, forests characterized by mixed forests that are more typical in Baltic region. In the extreme north of Finland near the tree line and Arctic Ocean, montane birch forests are common. Similarly, Finland has diverse and extensive range of fauna. At least 60 native mammalian species, 248 breeding bird species, over 70 fish species, 11 reptile and frog species, many migrating from neighboring countries thousands of years ago. Large and widely recognized wildlife mammals found in Finland are brown bear, grey wolf, wolverine, and elk. 3 of the more striking birds are whooper swan, large European swan, and the national bird of Finland, western capercaillie, a large, black-plumaged member of the grouse family, and Eurasian eagle owl. The latter is considered an indicator of old-growth forest connectivity and declining due to landscape fragmentation. 24,000 species of insects are prevalent in Finland like hornets with tribes of beetles such as the Onsidarini. The most common breeding birds are willow warbler, common chaffinch, and redwing. Of 70 species of freshwater fish, the northern pike, perch are plentiful. Atlantic salmon remains the favorite of fly rod enthusiasts. Endangered Saimaa ringed seal, one of only 3 lake seal species in the world, exists only in Saimaa lake system of southeastern Finland, down to only 390 seals today. The species has become the emblem of Finnish Association for Nature Conservation. A third of Finland's land area originally consisted of moorland, about half of this area drained for cultivation over the past centuries. Main factor influencing Finland's climate is the country's geographical position between 60th and 70th northern parallels in Eurasian continent's coastal zone. In Köppen climate classification, the whole of Finland lies in boreal zone, characterized by warm summers and freezing winters. Within the country, temperateness varies considerably between southern coastal regions and extreme north, showing characteristics of both maritime and continental climate. Finland is near enough to Atlantic Ocean to be continuously warmed by Gulf Stream. Gulf Stream combines with moderating effects of Baltic Sea and numerous inland lakes explain the unusually warm climate compared with other regions that share the same latitude such as Alaska, Siberia, and southern Greenland. Winters in southern Finland when daily temperature remains below 0 degrees Celsius are usually 100 days long, and in the inland, snow typically covers the land from late November to April. On coastal areas such as Helsinki, snow covers the land from late December to late March. Even in the south, harshest winter nights temperatures fall to -30 degrees Celsius, although on coastal areas like Helsinki, temperatures below -30 degrees Celsius are rare. Climatic summers, when daily temperature remains above 10 degrees Celsius in southern Finland, last from late May to mid-September, and in the inland, warmest days of July can reach over 35 degrees Celsius. Although most of Finland lies on Taiga Belt, southernmost coastal regions are sometimes classified as hemiboreal. In northern Finland, particularly in Lapland, winters are long and cold while summers are relatively warm but short. On most severe winter days in Lapland, temperature fall to -45 degrees Celsius. The winter of the north lasts for 200 days with permanent snow cover from mid-October to early May. Summers in the north are quite short, only 2 to 3 months, but can still see maximum daily temperatures above 25 degrees Celsius during heat waves. No part of Finland has Arctic tundra, but alpine tundra can be found at the fells Lapland. Finnish climate is suitable for cereal farming only in the southernmost regions, while the northern regions are suitable for animal husbandry. A quarter of Finland's territory lies within Arctic Circle and experienced midnight sun for more days the farther north one travels. At Finland's northernmost point, sun does not set for 73 consecutive days during summer and does not rise at all for 51 days during winter. Finland is ranked 4th in Environmental Performance Index for year 2024. Finland's road system is utilized by most internal cargo and passenger traffic. Among the Finnish highways, the most significant and busiest main roads include Turku Highway, E18, Tampere Highway, E12, Lotti Highway, E75, and the ring roads, Ring I and Ring 3, of Helsinki Metropolitan Area and Tampere Ring Road of Tampere Urban Area. The main international passenger gateway is Helsinki Airport, which handled 15.3 million passengers in 2023. Another 26 airports have scheduled passenger services. The Helsinki airport-based Finnair, Blue One and Nordic Regional Airlines, Norwegian Air Shuttle sell air services both domestically and internationally. Rail transport is handled by state-owned VR Group. Finland's first railway was opened in 1862, and today it forms part of the Finnish Main Line, which is more than 800 kilometers long. Helsinki opened the world's northernmost metro system in 1982. Majority of international cargo shipments are handled at ports. Vuosaari Harbour in Helsinki is the largest container port in Finland. Others include Kotka, Hamina, Hanko, Pori, Rauma and Oulu. There is passenger traffic from Helsinki and Turku, which have ferry connections to Tallinn, Mariehamn, Stockholm and Travemund. The Helsinki-Tallinn route is one of the busiest passenger sea routes in the world. In 2017, tourism in Finland grossed 15.0 billion euros. Of this, 4.6 billion euros, 30%, came from foreign tourism. In 2017, there were 15.2 million overnight stays of domestic tourists and 6.7 million overnight stays of foreign tourists. Tourism contributes 2.7% to Finland's GDP. Lapland has the highest tourism consumption of any Finnish region. Above Arctic Circle in midwinter, there is polar night, a period when the sun does not rise for days, weeks, or even months, and correspondingly, midnight sun in the summer with no sunset even at midnight for up to 73 consecutive days at the northernmost point. Lapland is so far north that the aurora borealis, fluorescence in the high atmosphere due to solar wind, is seen regularly in the fall, winter, and spring. Finnish Lapland is also locally regarded as home of Santa Claus, with several theme parks such as Santa Claus Village and Santa Park in Rovaniemi. Other significant tourist destinations in Lapland include ski resorts such as Levi, Ruka, and Yllas, and sleigh rides led by either reindeer or huskies. Tourist attractions in Finland include the natural landscape found throughout the country as well as urban attractions. Finland contains 40 national parks such as Koli National Park in North Karelia, from southern shores of the Gulf of Finland to the high fells of Lapland. Outdoor activities range from Nordic skiing, golf, fishing, yachting, lake cruises, hiking and kayaking, among many others. Birdwatching is popular for those fond of avifauna. However, hunting is also popular. The most famous tourist attractions in Helsinki include Helsinki Cathedral and Suomenlinna Sea Fortress. The most well-known Finnish amusement parks include Linnanmäki in Helsinki and Sakaniemi in Tampere. St. Olaf's Castle, Olavinlinna, in Savonlinna hosts the annual Savonlinna Opera Festival, and medieval milieux of the cities of Turku, Rauma and Porvoo also attract spectators. Commercial cruises between major coastal and port cities in the Baltic region play a significant role in the local tourism industry. Visual arts in Finland started to form their characteristics in 19th century when romantic nationalism was rising in autonomic Finland. Best-known Finnish painters, Akseli Gallen-Kallela, started painting in naturalist style but moved to national romanticism. In the late 20th century, homoerotic art of Tukko Loksonen, pseudonym Tom of Finland, found a worldwide audience. Finland's best-known sculptor of the 20th century was Wäinö Aaltonen, remembered for his monumental busts and sculptures. The works of Eila Hiltunen and Leila Pulinen exemplifies the modernism in sculpture. Finns have made major contributions to handicrafts and industrial design. Among the internationally renowned figures are Timo Saarpaniva, Tapio Workala and Ilmari Tapiovaara. Finnish architecture is famous around the world and contributed significantly to several styles internationally such as Jugendstil or Art Nouveau, Nordic classicism and functionalism. Among the top 20th century Finnish architects to gain international recognition are Elail Sorinen and his son Eero Sorinen. Architect Alvar Aalto is regarded as among the most important 20th century designers in the world. He helped bring functionalist architecture to Finland, but soon was a pioneer in its development towards an organic style. Aalto is also famous for his work in furniture, lamps, textiles, and glassware which were usually incorporated into his buildings. Finns' love for saunas is associated with Finnish cultural tradition. Sauna is a type of dry steam bath practiced widely in Finland which is especially evident in the strong tradition around midsummer and Christmas. The word sauna is of Proto-Finnish origin found in Finnic and Sami languages dating back 7,000 years. Steam baths have been part of European tradition elsewhere as well, but sauna has survived best in Finland, in addition to Sweden, Estonia, Latvia, Russia, Norway, and parts of United States and Canada. Moreover, nearly all Finnish houses have either own sauna or in multi-story apartment houses timeshare sauna. Municipal swimming halls and hotels often have saunas. Finnish sauna culture is inscribed on UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage lists. Ruisleipä, a dark sourdough rye bread, holds the status of the national food in Finland. Finnish cuisine combines traditional country fare and contemporary style cooking. Potato, meat and fish play a prominent role in traditional Finnish dishes. Finnish foods often use wholemeal products, rye, barley, oats, and berries, bilberries, lingonberries, cloudberries, sea buckthorn. Milk and its derivatives like buttermilk commonly used as food and drink. Most popular fish food in Finland is salmon. Finland has the world's second highest per capita consumption of coffee. Milk consumption is also high, average about 112 litres per person per year, even though 17% of the Finns are lactose intolerant. Several holidays in Finland, of which perhaps the most characteristic of Finnish culture include Christmas, Joulu, Midsummer, Juhannus, May Day, Vappu, and Independence Day, Itsenäisyyspäivä. Of these, Christmas and Midsummer are special in Finland because the actual festivities take place on eves such as Christmas Eve and Midsummer's Eve, while Christmas Day and Midsummer's Day are more consecrated to rest. Other public holidays in Finland are New Year's Day, Epiphany, Good Friday, Easter Sunday and Easter Monday, Ascension Day, All Saints' Day and St. Stephen's Day. All official holidays in Finland are established by Acts of Parliament. The area that is now Finland was settled in, at the latest, around 8,500 BC during Stone Age towards the end of last glacial period. Artifacts the first settlers left behind present characteristics shared with those found in Estonia, Russia and Norway. Earliest people were hunter-gatherers using stone tools. First pottery appeared in 5200 BC when comb ceramic culture was introduced. Present-day Finland was in the western limits of the culture which produced pottery with distinct comb pattern. Arrival of corded ware culture in the south of coastal Finland between 3000 and 2500 BC may have coincided with the start of agriculture. Even with introduction of agriculture, hunting and fishing continued as important parts of the subsistence economy. In Bronze Age, permanent all-year-round cultivation and animal husbandry spread, but the cold climate slowed the change. Cimiturbino phenomenon brought first bronze artifacts to the region and possibly also Finno-Ugric languages. Commercial contacts that had so far been to Estonia started to extend to Scandinavia. Domestic manufacture of bronze artifacts started 1300 BC. In Iron Age, population grew. Finland proper was the most densely populated area. Commercial contacts in Baltic Sea region grew and extended during 8th and 9th centuries. Main exports from Finland were furs, slaves, castoreum and falcons to European courts. Imports included silk, fabrics, jewelry, Ulfbert swords, and in lesser extent, glass. Production of iron started in 500 BC. At the end of 9th century, indigenous artifact culture, especially weapons and women's jewelry, had more common local features than ever. An early form of Finnic languages spread to Baltic Sea region 1900 BC. Common Finnic language spoken around Gulf of Finland 2000 years ago. Dialects from which modern-day Finnish language was developed came into existence during Iron Age. Contacts with the ancient Baltic and Eastern Germanic peoples greatly influenced the Proto-Finnic language. Although distantly related, Sami people retained hunter-gatherer lifestyle longer than the Finns. Sami cultural identity and Sami language survived in Lapland, the northernmost province. The name Suomi, Finnish for Finland, has uncertain origins but common etymology with Sami has been suggested. In the earliest historical sources from 12th and 13th centuries, the term Finland refers to the coastal region around Turku. This region later became known as Finland proper in distinction from the country name Finland. 12th and 13th centuries were violent time in the northern Baltic Sea. Livonian crusade was ongoing and Finnish tribes such as Tavastians and Karelians were in frequent conflicts with Novgorod and with each other. Also, during 12th and 13th centuries, several crusades from Catholic realms of Baltic Sea area were made against the Finnish tribes. Danes waged at least 3 crusades to Finland, in 1187 or slightly earlier, in 1191 and in 1202. Swedes, possibly the so-called Second Crusade to Finland in 1249 against Tavastians and the Third Crusade to Finland in 1293 against the Karelians. The so-called First Crusade to Finland, possibly in 1155, most likely never occurred. As a result of the Crusades, mostly with Second Swedish Crusade led by Birger Jarl and colonization of some Finnish coastal areas with Christian Swedes during Middle Ages, Finland gradually became part of the Kingdom of Sweden and sphere of influence of Catholic Church. Under Sweden, Finland was annexed as part of the cultural order of Western Europe. Swedes built fortresses in Heim and Turku while Swedish royal council was instituted, an administrative structure and fiscal apparatus was created and law codes codified during the reigns of Magnus Lagellus, 1275 to 1290, and Magnus Eriksson, 1319 to 1364. As a result, Finnish lands were firmly integrated into Swedish realm. Swedish was the dominant language of the nobility, administration, and education. Finnish was chiefly a language for the peasantry, clergy, and local courts in predominantly Finnish-speaking areas. During Protestant Reformation, Finns gradually converted to Lutheranism. The end of Kalmar Union ushered in an era of religious, social, and economic changes. Gustav Vasa, 1523–1560, made his second son Johan the Duke of Finland, while Gustav Adolf, 1611–1632, created the office of Governor-General for Finland as part of his restructuring of the administration of the Swedish realm. In 16th century, Bishop and Lutheran reformer Mikael Agricola published the first written works in Finnish, and Finland's current capital city, Helsinki, was founded by King Gustav Vasa in 1555. The first university in Finland, Royal Academy of Turku, was established by Queen Christina of Sweden at the proposal of Count Pabray in 1640. The Finns reaped a reputation in the 30 Years' War, 1618–1648, as a well-trained cavalryman called Hakapelieta. Finland suffered a severe famine from 1695 to 1697, during which about 1/3 of Finnish population died, and devastating plague few years later. In 18th century, wars between Sweden and Russia twice led to the occupation of Finland by Russian forces, times known to the Finns as the Greater Wrath, 1714–1721, and the Lesser Wrath, 1742–1743. It is estimated that almost an entire generation of young men was lost during Great Wrath, due mainly to the destruction of homes, farms, and burning of Helsinki. Swedish era ended with Finnish War of 1809. On the 29th of March, 1809, after conquered by armies of Alexander I of Russia, Finland became an autonomous Grand Duchy within Russian Empire as recognized by Diet of Porvoo. This situation continued until the end of 1917. In 1812, Alexander I incorporated the Russian province of Vyborg into Grand Duchy of Finland. In 1854, Finland became involved in Russia's involvement Crimean War when British and French navies bombed Finnish coast and Åland during Åland War. Finnish support for NATO rose sharply after Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022. On the 11th of May, 2022, Finland signed a mutual security pact with United Kingdom. On the 12th of May, Finland's president and prime minister called for NATO membership without delay. Finland became member of NATO on the 4th of April, 2023.